Today I'm going to show you how to crochet Snoopy. This is a pattern by Ami. These are the two hook sizes and this is the yarn I'll be using. For the typical use it says to use 5mm, but I enjoy using smaller. Here I'm showing you the first Snoopy I made and I did V stitches, but what we want are X stitches to look more professional. Okay, so first we are going to make a magic ring and do 6 single crochets into the center. Here I'm showing you the typical V stitch, like a normal single crochet, and now this is the X stitch, which is a single crochet to look more fancy. To do it, we yarn over the opposite way and pull through the front instead. Here I show you 3 times, and if you need, you can always go back a bit to replay it. We will be using this beginning middle ring with 6 single crochets in it for every single Snoopy piece. For round 2, we increase once in each single crochet, so each 6. Once done, you should now have 12. For round 3, we will do a single crochet and increase. Repeat that 6 times to get 18. Voila! Round 4, we single crochet twice, then increase 6 times to get 24. Now I'm switching my hook to a larger one. Okay, now please pause to read. Here I'm pointing out in the pattern that you need to do 7 rounds of 36 single crochets. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so now we're going to start increasing. First, we're going to do 12 single crochets. Then for the next 12 single crochets, we're going to increase all of them, so we get that little fan. Then we're going to finish off with 12 single crochets to have 48 stitches. For round 15, do 12 single crochets, then do a single crochet increase for the next 24 stitches. Then do 12 more single crochets. If he is curvy, good job! Okay, for round 16 to 22, we need to do all of them 60 single crochets all around. Ta-da! So now we are going to begin decreasing. To start, do 12 single crochets, then do a single crochet and a decrease. Repeat that 11 more times and then do 12 more single crochets to finish the round. Ta-da! Please pause to read for the next few rounds because I cannot talk that fast. So, silly me did not stuff him until 1 round prior finishing. I'd advise you to start stuffing him at round 29 or 30 because I did 31. Here I stuffed the nozzle and then I did the head until he's rock hard. Now I will decrease all around. Once you have 6 single crochets left, you snip off your end, and this is like a fancier way to close him up. So what I do is I insert my hook through each single crochet and pull the little end through. Once I do that for each stitch, I will pull the end and it will tighten. Now Snoopy has a clean little back of his head. I secure it with a slip stitch randomly on another side of the head, and then I tuck my tail in. And finally, I squish him around to make sure all the stitches look even. Ta-da! Now we finished his head. Great job, guys! Stay tuned for the next few parts. Peace out! Hello, so we are going to be doing the body and arms of Snoopy. Once again, this is a pattern by Ami. First, we are going to be making our magic ring and single crochet 6 times into the center. Don't forget to be making your X stitches. Oh, and I showed you them in the first part. Like Snoopy's head, we will be doing the same steps up until round 6. Switching to my larger hook, I always use the smaller hook to make my beginning stitches tighter. For the next 6 rounds, we will be doing 42 single crochets. Oh, and don't forget to flip your work inside out. Once done, it should look something like this. Now we are going to begin decreasing. Unlike Snoopy's head, I'm moving a bit faster without explaining as much. This is so I can pump out more pieces in each of the parts. Okay, once you finish, snip and pull. Ta-da! Time for the arms. So you're going to do a magic ring and do your 6 single crochet, like the other pieces. To my larger hook for the second round and so forth so that the stitches look even. Working tiny can be very meticulous, so be sure to have patience. Oh, and I'm just showing you that you need to do all those rounds the same. Ooh, and flip inside out. Okay, watch this. Envision it, and voila! I thought it would be easy to stuff him, but it was not. It took a very long time, and when I switched to an ergonomic hook, it went by a lot faster. Stuff the body and stay tuned. Peace out! Merry Christmas! So this is part 3 of the Snoopy tutorial, and this is a pattern by Ami on Instagram. I used Pound of Love black yarn, and we are going to begin with a magic ring and 6 single crochets. I apologize for the weird lagginess. It randomly filmed in slow motion and then decided to completely lag out and delete some of the recording that I had done, But anywho, these are the instructions, and you can see that I'm building the ears, and we flatten it. Then I do a few mediocre transitions, and then there you go, and snip off and pull. Make another one. Okay, so now we do his really tiny nose. I just want to say this was very meticulous, and so is his tail, which we are going to get into. But please have patience when making it, because in the end he will turn out very cute, and he'll be something that you're very proud of, because we are Snoopy stands. Okay, Snoopy's tail. So for the last round of Snoopy's tail, it says to do 12 single crochets, but instead I did 6 decreases so that it could be a little bit cuter, if you know what I'm saying. So do what you want with that info. You can do it too if you'd like, but ta-da! See you in the next part. Hello! Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you all had an amazing holiday, and Happy New Year! Okay, so let's get into it. As shown, there was some red chunky yarn. I'm using this because I'd already filmed the feet and I got really flustered because turns out I didn't actually record it. Anyways, throughout the video you will see the written steps in the pattern by Ami, and I will also show you how I went with it, because where my stitches ended were slightly off to where I presume the patterns are, so the steps are just a little bit backwards, of which you will read. Please feel free to follow whichever one is written. I just think mine might be a little bit easier since it's what I'm showing you with my hands, but you do you, boo. Oh, and mine are the black instructions. Pointing to do a single crochet in that tiny little gap. This is so that we can prevent doing our slip stitches to where it continuously ends each round closer and closer to the tip of his foot. Okay, so I'm just showing you that we need to do 2 rounds of those 24 stitches. Now we are beginning the decreases for the top of his foot. Let me know in the comments which part of Snoopy was trickiest for you. For me, it was probably the feet, since I had to figure out how to do the stitches. Now we're going to do 5 rows of 13 single crochets. Where I'm pointing, I'm showing you that I did an extra decrease just so that the foot is a bit more defined. With that, please make your second foot and have a wonderful day. Peace out. Hello, welcome to the final part of Snoopy. Oh my goodness, we are going to be assembling his whole body today. I am so appreciative of your patience. Once again, I've been very busy lately and haven't had the chance to assemble him, but here we are. And so first we are going to line up the seams of the body and the head where we were finishing each round. So then we are going to use our extra yarn and insert a tapestry needle directly across the body so that I can have even stitching as I'm going around. If you don't own a tapestry needle, don't worry, you can always use your hook. I'd advise you to use a smaller millimeter hook just so that it's a bit easier. And you're going to sew all along the head. And I'm just showing you how I'm ending, where I leave a little hoop so that I can put my little needle back in, tie it tight, and then I will insert it into a random part of his head, pull it out, and snip off the little excess. Okay, for his little arms, I will be using just a smaller millimeter hook because I find it easier in this situation. I'm inserting it into the front and the back, then I will insert it into the seams where I had just sewn, and I will pull through. Here I'm just showing you a few of the times that I did it. Then after, I tie my little stitch, and then I pull it through the arm. Ta-da! Okay, do it for the other side. On to his little feet. So here I'm just perching him up so that I can see where I would like the feet to be, so that they won't be too high or too low and he can sit just right. So just continue sewing all around his little foot. As I'm working the legs and other parts of Snoopy, I'm honestly eyeballing it since the pattern did not give exact measurements as to where to put the locations of Snoopy's parts. It just said to assemble, and so you can just follow along where I'm doing mine. I'm here pointing to where you should align the feet, where the rows are, so that both are even and centered on Snoopy. Little transition, and now we have both, and we're doing his tiny little tail. So for his tail, I just took my hook and I went through a few times. Honestly, the tail, you can just attach it however you'd like, but yeah, I was just showing you how I did mine. Onto his ears. So for these, I'm just showing you that you can place them however you like. I ended up placing them a little higher than what I wanted, but it's okay. And for the nose, we are going to be doing our attachment on the second round of his head. So I'm just adding a bit of stuffing, and then I'm taking my hook and going through each stitch and matching them up, so it's nice and even around. Then once I finish, just a little bling, and then taking a bit of the black fuzz off. Okay, now for the eyes. I I apologize for how I went about this because I did not realize that I did not center it. So I'm showing you how I did the opposite side of his head. And I did the eyebrows, which you can kind of see where I placed them. I honestly just like eyeballed it. But I went through about 3 stitches in distance for the eyes. And each round that I did, like going through to make the eyes thicker and thicker, each round you do makes it wider, but I'm also placing my finger on the yarn right before I do the last little tighten to make sure that it stays on that side. And then I just did like a little stitch, a little knot right there before I went in to stick the needle through the other side and then snip it off. Spend some time just taking like some of the black fuzz off, and then you are completed with your Snoopy. Congratulations. Thank you so much for following along. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.